So what's going on YouTube, man? Today is Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday evening. And I got something to talk about, guys. And I don't want, before I even say what this topic is, I don't want you guys to take it the wrong way. I'm not crazy or anything like that. But just have some patience, and you will be surprised that I guarantee of the answers that people are going to give to this question, or this statement I'm about to say, or question I'm about to say. Do you talk to yourself? And the type of talking I'm talking about is not like, hey man, what's going on? Nothing, man, just relaxing, just sitting around, just relaxing. No, not that type of talking. About 3 years ago, right, I started listening to, some people call it the inner voice, some people call it Abraham. Okay, let me slow down a little bit. Let me tell you. Okay. I started noticing that there were certain thoughts that would come to my mind, right before I was about to do something. And usually, every time I ignored that thought, when I went ahead and did it the other way, I ended up doing it wrong. So then all of a sudden I started wondering, like, okay, Abdul, you had that thought before you actually did this task, whether it was business, whether it was whether it was talking to your wife, or talking to a customer, whether it was talking to something. You had a thought. You had two thoughts. One so-called your way, and another thought that was from somewhere else. But you didn't listen to that thought. If you would have listened to that thought, things would have went a little smoother. So then it started from there, and then all of a sudden I just started, like, when I wanted to solve a problem or I wanted like an answer for something, I would just sit still in a quiet area, and I would ask myself, what do you think about this situation? Just like that. And I started getting replies. Not like replies you can hear, but thoughts would come to my head. And I started following those thoughts. And ever since I've been doing that, I won't say approval rating, but my success has blown through the roof. So I got the courage one day to ask one of my good friends. I said, hey man, do you ever talk to yourself? And he just started laughing. And I'm thinking he's laughing because, dude, that was the most dumbest question. Well, are you crazy or something? What do you mean? He said, man, I talk to myself all the time. And then I asked him another question. I said, have you noticed that when you talk to yourself, and like I said, not like the first example, but the second, usually the thought that you have it almost seems like to be more intelligent than your thought. And he said, yeah, all the time. And like I said, to some people this may be God. To some people this may be the inner spirit. To some people may be your spirit God. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you right now, if you're not using this technique, you're shortchanging yourself. If you guys ever read the book Think and Grow Rich, it talks about this concept. It talks about a concept of creating a boardroom, right? And you, in that boardroom, you put all the people that you admire in that boardroom. So like, let's say for instance, you have Dave Ramsey on one side of the table, whatever. You got Robert Kiyosaki in the middle, and over here you have Warren Buffett. And you have a financial question. And you visualize yourself walking in that boardroom. You have Dave, Warren Buffett over here, and Robert Kiyosaki in the middle. And you go in and talk to him. Just like I'm talking on the video right now. You go in and talk to him, and you get the best decision that you think they will make. So when you're talking to Dave, you would answer the question as if like what Dave would say to this particular question. And so some of you guys may think, what the heck is this guy talking about? But like I said, you're going to be amazed. Watch the comments to this video. So this is something that I've learned in my life that is huge. It's also let me learn that, look, you don't necessarily have to go out sometimes to get outside advice. The advice you need is sometimes, well not sometimes, is all the time with you. But it's up to you to use it. And there's a lot of things out there. That's that technique. And then you have a technique with Abraham Hicks. I remember talking to a lady at a gym. and I was talking about The Secret, and we was talking about whether we believe in that. And she said, "Do you know Abraham Hicks?" I said, "Who?" She said, "I've been on this lady's cruises for like 14. I went on like 14 cruises with this lady." And keep in mind, this lady that was talking to me, who totally believes in this concept, was 43 years old, and she was retired. She was a physical assistant, PA. So she could have made a lot more money in life, but she's made so much, her husband and her, that she doesn't have to work anymore. 43 years old. Think about that. So let me hear your questions and comments on this issue. And like I say again, I'm not crazy. But I think you'll be crazy if you don't use this technique. And let's just start a discussion. So until next time, signing off.